credit reporting agency TransUnion SA has confirmed a recent data breach by international hackers, saying it affected at least 3 million of their clients. The hackers are demanding around 220 million rand from the company. Let's talk about the implications of a breach of this magnitude. Cybersecurity analyst and CEO of J2 Software, Mc Loughlin, joins us via our video link this morning. John, it's great to have you with us on the program. Thanks very much for your time. I mean, are we very susceptible to these kinds of hacks? I'm just thinking about the Experian 2020 hack as well, that affected, at that time, 24 million South Africans, almost 800,000 businesses as well. Are we at high risk of such hacks?
Good morning. Yeah, I think the important thing to understand is that every single person or every organization is susceptible. Everyone is a target, and those with highly sensitive information have an even bigger target pointed at them, and doing the right basics is so critically important.
Yeah. I mean, Experian, also a credit bureau. TransUnion is also sort of a financial services organization. Does that make it sort of, does that open you up to these kinds of hacks, the kind of company that perhaps you are?
It does affect everybody. The fact that that information contains highly sensitive information of consumers and businesses,
yeah.
I think that they're more of a prime target based on the fact that the attackers likely believe that they're more likely to pay the ransoms when they occur. That kind of information can be used to target individuals and businesses, and trick people out of tons of money further down the line.
We've also reached out to TransUnion. At this stage, though, they are not taking any interviews, so we don't have their perspective on the story. But insofar as that ransom, so to speak, is concerned, 222 million rand, I believe, is what hackers are demanding from the company. I mean, does a company go ahead and pay a ransom to try and restore the credibility of its users?
Well, that becomes a highly difficult question, because do you negotiate with the criminals in order to save your own reputation, or do you, as a business, rather say we are a victim and this is what's happened, and then take all the possible steps to mitigate it? The important thing is, when it comes to answering questions from the regulator, is as a business, if you've done everything you possibly can, and you haven't been negligent by using completely simple to guess passwords, or not using multiple factors of authentication, and you're encrypting data, etc., and you're doing everything you can, and you're still a victim, that there's not really a lot more you can do, except keep an eye on where your sensitive information is.
Yeah. So, John, TransUnion saying that the credit bureau, this is TransUnion, saying that access was gained to a server through the misuse of an authorized client's credentials. And upon discovery of that incident, TransUnion SA then suspended that client's access. What does this mean, John? Does it mean that it could have been an inside job?
No. In many circumstances, it could almost always be a potentially inside job. What happens is the criminal syndicates are known to target people who work within organizations, to share information, to give away the keys to the building, so to speak. And if that is the case, that's even more frightening, because how do you defend against someone who has malicious intent within the business? I suppose the only way you'd look at that is by ensuring that you have visibility of activity so you can identify those.
Yeah.
But if someone has known and trusted credentials, that's why we have multiple levels of authentication, so it's not just the username and password in order to access highly sensitive data.
3 million impacted customers. That's what we're being told this morning. TransUnion SA has also identified an additional 6 million ID numbers where no personal information is linked to those ID numbers. I mean, who are the people that would have been impacted in this hack?
You and I, and businesses, and anyone who's ever had any kind of financial transaction that would be reported to a bureau of this kind. So whether it's someone who's purchased a motor vehicle at some point, houses, flats, apartments, absolutely everybody. And these attacker groups, what they then do is they take information from this, they add it with other data from us, so that it becomes enriched. So you get more and more information about the same individuals, and that's what they use to then target businesses, whether you work for a business thereafter or in your private capacity.
So if I were to fall victim to some kind of scam as a result of a hack like this, John, what would that likely look like? An email perhaps asking for a PIN number, a phone call asking me for particular details?
Well, those are definitely some of those, but the possibilities are they're wide-ranging, because the most difficult portion, so the toughest piece of any time you want to try and trick or convince or swindle somebody is to earn their trust. And if you're phoning from an organization, or at least pretending to be from a specific organization, the easiest way to gain trust is to tell the people all the information that you have on them that the business will contain. If I already know what credit facilities you have, if I know your account details, addresses, ID numbers, previous addresses, the likelihood of being able to convince someone that you are the correct person is far higher. So we need to be really, really vigilant.
Yeah. A message to all consumers this morning. As you say, anyone who has been involved in any kind of a credit situation where you're buying a car, whether you shop online, be incredibly vigilant, especially in the build-up after this hack. John Mc Loughlin, let me thank you for your time this morning. He's a cybersecurity analyst, CEO of J2 Software. Credit reporting agency TransUnion confirming that recent data breach. It's affected at least 3 million of their clients.